name is Nelline. Welcome to Fit Talks, Fearless in Transformation. That's what we are here, fearless in transformation. Here we talk about all things physical, mental, and spiritual to overcome any obstacle in life, share testimonies, and grow together. Today is my premiere. It's September 2nd, Monday, Labor Day. Happy Labor Day. I thought today I would premiere Fit Talk because those of you who are about to start a journey of saving money, getting your mental and physical and spiritual life balanced, it's always a good time to start at the beginning of the month, right? So this is for you today. Today I wanted to talk about, is it medical or is it spiritual? And then we're going to talk about how to save money, starting with the basics, coffee. Okay? First, let's go there. Is it medical or spiritual? What does it mean? Are you having a spiritual discomfort, ailment, or illness that you just haven't overcome yet? And you've gone to the doctor, and the doctor's like, your blood work looks great. You don't have any ailments. I can't find anything wrong with you. It could be this, it could be natural aging, it could be that, but no, there's nothing that shows on the test that you have a medical problem. Have you ever stopped to think that maybe it's a spiritual thing? What do I mean by that? Well, a good example is when I went on a trip. I went on a trip a couple of years ago, and I was there for 10 days. And I had a great time, experimented foods. I was in foreign land. I absolutely loved the culture, loved the food, loved everything, right? And when I got home, in a matter of days, I began to bleed, rectally, to be honest, and a lot. And I was shocked. And I went to the emergency room. They did a CT scan, they did all the tests, they checked for it, and they kept saying, no, nothing wrong, nothing needed here, you're okay. But yes, it is odd that you are bleeding. We don't see any internal hemorrhoids, we don't see anything that would be triggering a bleeding episode. So I was perplexed and a little disappointed that I didn't have answers, but at the same time, I took their word for it and went home. The bleeding continued. And I finally had to stop and look, hey, just what's going on? And I started doing more internal investigating. And finally I said, you know what? I need to spiritually look at this situation. And intuition and discernment finally got me to understand that part of the reason I was bleeding and part of the issue and physical ailment I was having was due to witchcraft. Now, granted, not everybody's going to have this situation, okay? Not everyone's going to be subjected to witchcraft. If you have a medical things that you're not having any issue on and then you do some investigating, not everyone's going to find out that witchcraft was involved. But in my case, it was. I have family members, I had friends, I had strangers that were actually doing witchcraft on me. That was making me weak, making my intestines swell, made my colon swell, so much so that I started to bleed. And it was very, very odd. And I had to do quite a few things to get myself back in shape, if you will, including drinking ginger juice, doing things to help internally my stomach, calming down my colon, which included some things like not eating spicy foods, not eating inflammatory foods, cutting back on the caffeine, cutting back on foods that can inflame the colon, inflame the intestines. So I needed to do a diet change. I needed to do a healing remedy change. And then finally, I had to do a spiritual change. Now, this not everyone who will watch this is Christian. Not everyone who watches this will believe in God. But for me, my biggest remedy is when I actually started to pray more and meditate more and listen to higher frequency music that actually helped me feel better. I had to take some steps to actually help me internally on a mental, physical, and spiritual level. It all became the healing remedy to what my bleeding was all about, and actually became an antidote to witchcraft. Witchcraft is real, very real. And the people who practice it have intentions on changing you physically, changing you mentally, and changing you physically. And it may not be for the better. So I had to do an internal check as to who my friends were, who my family is, what was my family lineage about, why are their family members doing witchcraft on me. I had to go all through that. I'm going to share more of that as we go along. But we're back to, is it medical or is it spiritual? Something you can ask yourself. I had another client that come in recently. I do holistic body work, right? I'm a holistic health practitioner, 27 years into it. So I like to work with natural remedies. I like to work with massage, infrared sauna, vitamins, nutrients, herbs, internally and externally, that you can use to help your body naturally. My number one ingredient I'm always going to send people to start will be naturally juiced ginger and naturally skinned aloe vera. It's the best remedy for your skin, burns, rashes, everything. Ginger, the best thing to kill parasites, helps your body improve the immune, as well as helps the stomach acid, as well as the colon and the bacteria inside the colon. It really is an amazing balancer. I had to go back to basics. And so this channel, Fit Talk, Fearless in Transformation, is about that, taking you back to basics. It's simple. When you take away that which is complicated and you go back to basics, you start to go, that is something that is easier if I leave that out. If I stay away from that food, I won't bloat so much. If I don't drink coffee all day, I won't have racing thoughts at 10 o'clock at night. I definitely have subjected myself to coffee at 5 o'clock in the evening, so happy to drink it, and then midnight waking up and going, I can't sleep for 4 hours. Remembering that I just had a nice cup of caffeine at 5 o'clock. Little things like that you need to just sort of take note of, eradicate, and set yourself up to win, mentally, physically, and spiritually. Why did I start this channel? I started this channel because I am in a fraud case. I've been subjected to witchcraft, and I'm in the middle of a federal fraud case that is literally a RICO crime case. A lot of people are involved, family members, friends, colleagues that were friends, that were colleagues. The list is long and it's deep and it's tragic. And I had to be isolated here in my own home. I'm without friends, I'm without family, and I have been put and subjected to isolation. But now I realize for a very good reason. I've been healing, I've been studying, I have been changing and evolving, where I'm to the point where I'm comfortable sitting in front of you as a person in poverty, as a person who doesn't have any friends, as a person who loves her practice and is endeared by her clients, but is just that, a client relationship, and has been left out of a lot of opportunities, corporately and every detail regarding my business. I was blackballed. In my community of holistic health practitioners here in San Diego, it's a small community, and the wildfire of accusations, reputation, slander, defamation of character went deep and wide, where I lost allies in my industry, and if I wanted to get a job at another spa, probably not a good idea. The the ridicule by the people who actually pinpointed every single company and actually spread lies, even to the schools, even to students, that I couldn't even probably hire other therapists if I wanted to. My business has been established in the city for over 20 years. And it's amazing how easy it is to lose face by lies, a lot of lies. And I'm about to litigate those lies, and I'm going to prosecute those lies, and they're going to have to prove what they said is true or step aside. So I'm here, and I've been transforming fearlessly. I've had to stand up to bullies. I've had to stand up to authorities. I've had to stand up against accusations that are not true, but I had to prove that they were not true. And let me tell you, it has taken me through hell and back in a great way. And what I gained from that was confidence. My relationship with Jesus Christ and God is on a whole new level. It's amazing. Then I do believe that it was thanks to my faith, thanks to my belief, and knowing that I believed in a spirit that I cannot see has actually been by my side the entire time. And I don't think 5 years ago I believed in that as much as I do today. And I'm grateful to say that it was through these trials and tribulations that my growth and my spiritual connection to Jesus Christ and my spiritual walk actually enhanced 100-fold, thankfully. And now I can sit and look in my enemy's face and say, thank you. Thank you so much. Because if it hadn't been for you and your slander, I would have never realized my value and worth. It's amazing. So I can't wait as this unfolds where it's going to take me. It's going to take me to a whole new level. If I wanted to make an excuse and I wanted to take up a hobby, like for example, I used to vape and smoke pot quite a bit, right? And I would do that. At the end of the day, it was my form of anti-anxiety. It was my form of just sort of, somebody has a glass of wine, I like to vape. I just enjoyed that. Today, I don't have to vape. I don't smoke. I don't have to. Why? Because I found the tools inside of me to calm myself down. And I put my habits on the altar, on my sacrificing table to say, hey, can I believe in a spiritual walk enough that I will not have to depend on something like that to calm me down or see me through? Yes, marijuana is legal. You can do this in the state of California. You can drink wine, you can have a beer, you can do all those types of things. But I put myself to the challenge of, I'm in the deep, deep trenches of tribulation right now. If I wanted an excuse to smoke, now's a great time to be smoking. But you know what? I said, no, I don't want to do that, because I want to challenge myself, and I want to be an example of you really can have a healthy lifestyle in the midst of poverty, tribulation, and the darkest days of your life. Losing friends and family so you think is a loss is not a time to start smoking or drinking or going out and having frivolous sex. It's not a time to do that. I'm going to teach you how you can refrain from those things, get to know yourself, and actually lead a very happy, healthy life, even being ostracized, blackballed, and completely annihilated socially. You really can. I can show you how to do that. Why? Because I am a living, walking, sitting testimony for you. It's time that I come out of this box and share with you how I have been surviving in poverty, in isolation, in a home that I have been on the brink of losing for so long due to a group, I mean a huge group, with a mortgage company, a real estate company, agents, banks, tellers, family, friends, neighbors, and so much more that has been trying to get me out on the streets and begging. And that's the truth. And I'm surviving, and I'm smiling, and my skin is clear, and I'm not in despair, because every time I know where to go, and I always call on my spiritual. I always rely, and I have my healing tactics, and I have my remedies that I use to calm myself down, have a great day, and a restful sleep in peace, even being in poverty, even being without. I don't have a car. My car, I willfully and thankfully had repossessed. Why? Because a camera was installed in my car while at the dealership getting a tune-up. Recording devices, tracking devices were on my vehicle so bad that I finally called Ally Financial and said, come get the truck. You can have it. Sure, it was a repo. You bet. But in so many ways, it saved my life. So, as a person without a car, in poverty, putting my business back together, one day at a time, I'm going to share with you how to be peaceful and lovely on the 11 bus, heading downtown, and peaceful and in serene, restful nights in your own home with nothing. I'm going to teach you how to do it. Give me a little time. Be ready to learn and open and take accountability for your current state. If you're in poverty, accept it. If you need to cut back your expenses because you're on a losing track right now, let's take accountability and start to save. So here's your lesson number 1 today. Today, we're going to talk about coffee. If you were to add up how many times, and we love Starbucks. This Starbucks, kudos, we love you Starbucks, we love you Pete's, we love you all. This is not a personal thing. But you're expensive, Starbucks. You are expensive, Pete's Coffee. You're expensive. You're a treat. Starbucks to me is a treat. If I decide to go to Starbucks, I'm going to take my laptop, I'm going to spend that $6, and I'm going to sit there for a couple of hours and enjoy. And I'm going to sip, and it's now an outing. It's a special treat for me to go to Starbucks because I figured out how to save a ton of money, how to enjoy my own coffee at home, and when I go to Starbucks, it's for the social. It's for the, I want to go on an outing and sip a Starbucks, right? Now I have learned to enjoy the little things in life, the small things, okay? So if you go to Trader Joe's, I love Trader Joe's, and you buy a bag of beaned coffee, whole bean coffee, it's actually cheaper than ground coffee. Anywhere you go, you can buy a bag of bean coffee for about $15 at Starbucks. You can buy a big bag of beaned coffee at Trader Joe's for $6. You get your bean coffee, whole beaned. Get a tight container that you can store it in or keep it in the bag and put it in the freezer, okay? This is a Krups grinder, okay? You can get one of these pretty easy for about under 20 bucks online, Amazon, or if you want to save on that, go to the thrift store. You can find one at a thrift store, pretty common. Just stop by the thrift store and see if you can pick up one of these, okay? These are awesome grinders, right? Coffee grinders. Get an airtight container, okay? And now you have grounds, okay? Most of us who drink coffee waste a ton of coffee grounds because we really don't understand the concept, or we have a huge coffee maker that holds 10 cups, so we make a big pot, you fill up the bag, you know, the filter, and it's a lot of coffee, and we go through quite a bit. I'm going to teach you that this, my friends, I usually have a little stand that sits like this and it sits on top of your coffee ground. But this is how I make a simple one single cup of coffee. Okay, you can find these either metal or plastic online, camping gear, you know, but I use a stainless steel coffee, 1 cup, and it usually has a base. I lost the base. Usually has a base that sits over the cup, right? And then it filters down, okay? But this, when you put in, all you need for a cup of coffee is 1 tablespoon or 2 at the most, but it's going to be strong. 1 tablespoon, my friends, is all you need. You put the 1 tablespoon in, and then you take the time and you pour your coffee, you pour the hot water over this, and you have a tasty, delicious cup of coffee. And this whole container will last me easily a month and a half. A month and a half, for real. This container, if I take it right and I do 1 tablespoon with it filled up to the top, I can go through one of these containers in about 2 weeks. That's all it takes. You grind your coffee, you put it in an airtight container. You could keep that either in your freezer or beside. You put this in the freezer and you go cup for cup. That's all you need, 1 cup. When you add it up, you will save over $25 a month, if not more. If you're a $5 a day Starbucks, 5 times 5, add it up, times 4, yo, that's over $100 a month if you do little tips. Over $100 a month at Starbucks, or $25 if you do half and half for a whole month, and enjoy like Starbucks the best. If you love Starbucks coffee, get Starbucks ground or whole bean coffee. It's that simple. Go 1 cup at a time. You're gonna save a bundle. Keep your full pot of coffee things to the side when you have family so you can make your pot. When you take simple steps like that, it actually slows you down. It minimalizes you. It keeps things simple and neat. And it kind of creates a fun little ritual where you're making your grounds, you're putting it in, you're waiting to pour, and then you add your half and half or whatever your sweetener is. I go to Trader Joe's and I get my half and half. It's only $3 for a container of half and half, a pint of it. There's so many ways you can save money. Let's start with the basics. So this month, if you're wanting to start to save money for Christmas, get rid of the Starbucks daily. Go get yourself a full ground bag, full whole bean bag. Get yourself a grinder. If you don't want to use a grinder, use a blender. You could do that. If you don't want to use this, take a spoon and crunch it. Use a brick and mortar. Use a mortar, metate or a mortar, and grind your own coffee. You can do that. It'll save you to do that as well. And watch your money grow. Watch your money save. You'll be glad you did, and I want to hear what you do that's going to save you money when it comes to coffee. That's all I got today. Your first lesson. Going forward, we're going to learn other ways to save money, save face, save your reputation, save your dignity, but remember, we always have integrity. Integrity's never left me. I never had to jump on the bandwagon of slander. I've never had to throw anybody under the bus. I don't retaliate. I don't fight unless I have to, and I will. But I do it the right way, with justice and peace and triumphant peace at that, right? We're going to start to pray. We're going to meditate. We're going to do cards. We're going to do oracle cards. We'll pick a word of the day. We're going to do all kinds of things on this channel to help you physically, mentally, and spiritually. I encourage you to stay tuned, subscribe, leave comments, share with other people that are going through tough times, that want to learn how to save money and save face. Please spread it around. I appreciate it. And until next time, thanks for joining me on Fit Talks. My name is Nelline Rascon. I'm a holistic health practitioner, and I'm available for you. Have a great day.